Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
He was armed with a knife, threatening to harm himself inside a downriver home.
Okay, you can talk to me, just put that down real quick.
Tonight, we're seeing how police got him out alive.
He was on I-96 when all of a sudden a steel beam came crashing through his front windshield.
My life passed before me.
Even he doesn't know how he walked away without being seriously injured.
Lucky to be alive, knowing there's a God. I'm thinking of my family, my kids.
When the 6-foot steel beam came loose from the truck in front of him, Johnny Lowe, a father of 3, thought his life was over.
It would have been, if not for his steering wheel. Tonight, he's sitting down with Priya Mann, still in disbelief about what happened.
I was feeling this is it. This is my day.
This is what Johnny Lowe saw barreling toward him on I-96 in Ingham County.
When it bounced off the concrete, I seen it was steel. And then I knew this was going down. And then I just braced myself and went like that, and then...
Miraculously, that steel beam stopped inches from his chest.
It folded the dash like that. And then here's the steering wheel. So the piece of steel was on the steering wheel and one lip of the dash.
Somehow, the Romulus father of 3 stayed calm and managed to pull over.
I'm looking at my windshield with a big slice right in front of me with a big 6-foot piece of steel sticking out of it, and half of it about a half a foot away from me.
Johnny was driving this 26-foot box truck to Lansing Thursday to pick up auto parts for DNC Logistics. He says a flatbed truck changed lanes when the steel beam fell off and hit the freeway.
Thank God it was flipping, because it came like that, down.
After calling police, Johnny called the company.
I immediately thought that he was pinned inside the truck, severely hurt. I wouldn't think that it would go any other way.
General Manager Jerry Babcock was in disbelief Johnny wasn't hurt.
It was like being in the middle of an explosion of glass. I mean, when I got home, I had to take a vacuum cleaner and suck out glass out of my ears.
The truck's a whole other issue that we could care less about. We were just worried about Johnny's safety.
Now I'm one lucky man. Well, I feel like I need to go play the lottery. Definitely.
You know, Johnny was laughing by the end of our interview, but he says he's been traumatized by this near-death experience. He's also reminding truck drivers to secure your load because this situation could have had deadly consequences. Reporting live, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
And what a skilled truck driver Johnny is for him to sustain that impact and manage to keep his truck from going off the road or hitting somebody else. And it's just remarkable that he's survived this. Priya, I'm wondering, though, about the driver of the flatbed truck. Did they ever stop?
Yeah, Kimberly, first, he managed to stay calm, right, and then pull over. Second, the driver of that flatbed truck didn't stick around. And Johnny says it's hard to believe that that driver wouldn't have noticed the steel beam had fallen off. He's hoping anybody who was driving on I-96 near Williamston will call the Ingham County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Send it back to you.
It just wasn't his time. Okay, Priya, thanks.
Wow, what a story. All right, a dry night across Metro Detroit, but we are not going to escape the snow for very long. Also, maybe single digits coming back to us this week, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is finally the real winter. We keep saying that, but it looks very evident.
I missed it. I've been fine. I don't know.
Just a few little snowfalls that we've had to contend with, but we do have at least a mild start to the week, and Devin was instrumental in noting that my spelling of shoveling would have been okay in the UK at 6. But apparently in the U.S. there's only one L, right? Figured that out. And it is going to be the coldest winter start we've had on Friday. Check out that swirling low. That's what's eventually going to give us the snowfall. But talking temperatures, we're forecasting a 20-degree high on Friday. Last time we were that cold was March 4th. That's almost an entire calendar year since we've seen a daytime high that cold. At least tomorrow, we're going to get above freezing even before we go to lunch. Still going to be a lot of clouds. We're going to look at how much snow we're expecting and also how long we're going to sit in that deep freeze in just a few minutes. Guys?
Okay, Ben. A suicidal man with a knife. That's what Taylor police were confronted with when a woman ran from a home screaming for help.
What happened next was caught on police body cam video. Mara McDonald live in Taylor at the police department tonight with more. Mara, instead of letting the situation escalate, police managed to get everyone out alive.
They sure did, Devin. And before we roll that police body cam, let me set this up for you. So police have gone into this home. Inside is that suicidal man with a knife, and he has already cut himself in multiple areas, including around his eyes, and he's hiding behind a door. Take a look.
Okay, we gotta talk to them.
Police are in the kitchen, and the man, who is clearly in mental distress, is armed with a knife behind the folding kitchen pantry doors. Police talk to him.
I want to talk to the coach. Talk to a what? Sergeant. Oh, that's me. I'm a sergeant. What can we do for you?
They get him to open the door, and
can you open the other one, hon?
they've got him talking. He's got the knife but will not put it down, and he begs them to blow his head off. What they do instead?
No. Hey, there you go. There you go. Let's go. Go. Drag him up.
They shoot the taser and move in. They get the knife away from him and get him out of the home and off to the hospital. Everybody got out of there alive. In the last year, Taylor PD spent a substantial amount of money to get 70 body cameras and outfit its officers with 40 tasers.
Well, without a taser in that situation, obviously it could become deadly force, depending on the mindset of the individual involved. And obviously in that video, he's saying, shoot me, things like that, so that could have turned into that situation.
Back here live, police telling me that this video from that body cam is something that they're going to be able to go back and train with. In this case, officers did everything right and everybody got out of there. We're live in Taylor tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Okay, Mara. Well, tonight we are getting our first look at the Ann Arbor man accused of shooting another man in the face at an apartment complex. Police say 28-year-old Justin Hines is charged with attempted murder. The shooting led to a standoff with police at the Hidden Valley Club Apartments last Friday night. Hines was eventually arrested after barricading himself inside his apartment. Police are still trying to determine what led to the shooting. A Michigan family is stuck at sea because of concerns over the coronavirus, which has now killed more than 1,000 people in China. Steve Muth says no one on his cruise ship is sick, but ports have been reluctant to take them because the ship left from Hong Kong. Despite outside concerns, he says spirits are up on the ship.
There's no panic here. Nobody's sick on the boat. There's some discussion. We tend to talk, in light terms as we go up or down an elevator, maybe. But there doesn't seem to be, any real negative emotion at this point. I think it's just uncertainty.
And late tonight, we've learned the ship will disembark at a port in Thailand. Passengers will then travel to Bangkok to return home.
After finding out that Noah's event venue in Southfield had abruptly closed its doors, a young couple getting married in 10 days was left really scrambling.
And the Detroit Police Athletic League saw their story on our air last Friday night and graciously donated their event space on the site of the old Tiger Stadium. And an anonymous donor stepped forward to pay for more than $5,000 in beverages. PAL says it's glad to help.
We're part of the community. That's what we do here. We give back to the community. We help people in need.
Oh, wow. Well, the Rooster Tail is also helping couples whose wedding plans were impacted by Noah's closing.
The rescue comes through again. Isn't it great? Well, the New Hampshire primary is just hours away from starting. Polls open at 11 a.m., close at 7 p.m. There's a couple of places where, of course, the voting opens famously in about an hour. If you're wondering how important New Hampshire is for Democrats, no candidate has ever gone on to win the party's presidential nomination without placing either first or second in New Hampshire. Meantime, we still don't have a winner in Iowa. Last night, the Iowa Democratic Party released results that show Pete Buttigieg earning 14 national delegates to Bernie Sanders' 12, but both campaigns are asking for a recanvass in parts of the state, so it still could be a while before we get an official Iowa winner.
All right, still ahead. It may not seem like a big number, but it's a big change.
Yeah, new tonight why researchers say babies weigh less than they used to 25 years ago.
And a road collapses, trapping 11 families. Why they say they're not getting the help they need. But first, here's Jamie.
It's one of the biggest names in basketball. takes him off the dribble, feeds Calipari.
You have to know the coach, but do you know the player?
At the end of the day, I figured that was the best place for me.
Brad Calipari's unique journey to University of Detroit, next on Local 4.
A treat for the belly and the brain. This local chef is serving up culinary creations like you've never seen. Tasty Tuesday, 6 a.m.
Tomorrow at 5, she was a kid in a bad situation.
You have to live in a car or didn't know where we were eating next.
But when the system took over, she faced a new struggle.
It's a huge social problem.
What happens when foster kids age out of the system with nowhere to go? Now, a local teen is hoping her story of survival can help break the cycle.
You didn't feel you were worthy of love for the first 13 years of your life?
See how Brianna found her forever family and a bright future. Tomorrow on Local 4 News at 5.